Hello everyone, welcome to India4IAS. Welcome back to Modern History PYQ series. So in this video, we will be discussing of the year 2024 questions on modern history. So 2024 was overall a static paper. 2023 ತುಂಬಾ dynamic paper ಇತ್ತು, ತುಂಬಾ options, ತುಂಬಾ new variety of knowledge na test ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು aspirants ಇಂದ. 2024 it was more of a bookish or static sort of paper. So in this paper if you see, there are hardly 3 questions from modern history. But all these 3 questions are static syllabus. So static ಮೇಲೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮೂರನ್ನು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಿತ್ತು. ವೆರಸ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಏನಿತ್ತು 3 questions ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಮಾತ್ರ ಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ಇತ್ತು, 2 needed smart guess work. But ಈ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ easily we could have got all 3 to be correct through a static knowledge. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ do not neglect modern history because you never know when it will be static and when it will be dynamic. Given that the analysis of UPSC 23-25 ಎರಡು ವರ್ಷ prelims paper, it was more dynamic. 24 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ there is good chance that in the year 2026 the static concentration could be more compared to the dynamic part. So this becomes important and do not neglect modern history for any chance. So let us look at the first question. Simple static question, a question on 1935. See, acts are very important. 1909 Act, 1919 Act, 1935 Act, these acts are very important and recurrently UPSC has asked questions on it. So look at the statements. It provided for the establishment of All India Federation based on the union of British Indian provinces and princely states. Simple statement, correct statement. Defense and foreign affairs were kept under the control of Viceroy, not federal legislature. Federal legislature is simple agi ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ Central Legislative Council. This is what it is speaking of. But the power of defense and foreign affairs, which are very important powers, were kept under Viceroy, not this. So statement 2 is wrong and statement 1 is correct, which makes the answer A. Let us see the next question. Again, question picked up from a static syllabus and an important part of the syllabus. Questions from Zamindari system, Rohitwari system, Mahalwari system, these things are mentioned in your NCERT as well, though not in detail. ಹೊಸ NCERT ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಅ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗುಡ್ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಈಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್. ಯಾರು ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ರು, ವಿಚ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಈಚ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ಸ್, ಈಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ನ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಶಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಅ ಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಸೊ ವಿಲ್ ಲುಕ್ ಎಟ್ ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ವಿತ್ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಟು ರೆವೆನ್ಯೂ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬೈ ಕಾರ್ನ್ವಾಲಿಸ್. ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಾರ್ನ್ವಾಲಿಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗಿದ್ರು 1793 ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ರೋಹಿತ್ವಾರಿ ಸೆಟಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರೆವೆನ್ಯೂ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ದ ಪೆಸೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಂಪ್ಟೆಡ್. They were exempted from revenue payment in case of bad harvest or natural calamities. Even if you did not know about Rohitwari system, do you think British was so kind that they would provide exemption if there was harvest, if there was bad harvest or natural calamity? The chances are less. See, Indian government is empathetic towards the farmers. If you see FRBM Act ali, now this will connect to economy. FRBM Act ali, the target of fiscal deficit could not be met under certain emergency circumstances, under which natural calamity or bad harvest is one of the provision. Only there is exemption provided because it is Indian government present day. British at that point of time they were very exploitative, so the chances that they will give exemption is very less. So it gottilla andru kuda we could have easily taken it to be wrong. So under the permanent settlement in Bengal, if zamindar failed to pay his revenues to the state on or before the fixed date, he would be removed from his zamindari. Very generic statement. Why wouldn't they remove? Yes, they do. So nimige in case ee system ಬಗ್ಗೆ knowledge ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರೂನು ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ easily you could have deduced the answer to be B. So things which other than this which you need to know, see Rohitwari system, Munro and Reed. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್? Hector Munro and Reed. Permanent settlement or another word is zamindari system of Lord Cornwallis. So Munro and Reed, Rohitwari system, Cornwallis, permanent settlement. Difference eno, permanent settlement alli the revenue was fixed for a certain duration of time. It was around 10 years. So 10 years ke ishte revenue fix ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು. Whereas in Rohitwari system there was regular assessment in periodic time and they would consider the soil productivity or the productivity of the land and then decide the revenue, which was more progressive. Zamindari system ಅಲ್ಲಿ it was the responsibility of the zamindar to collect the revenue from the farmers and give it to the state. So there was intermediary who was the zamindar here. Whereas if we talk about the Rohitwari system, there the peasants themselves were the temporary owners. The peasants had land titles which were called pattas. So land title name peasants kodtiro, and the peasant themselves had to pay the revenue to the state, eliminating the need for an intermediary. Just like in present day we do direct benefit transfer. So permanent settlement, Rohitwari settlement. So ಈ ತರ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, so that again ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ in subsequent days we can easily be able to answer. And another thing, if I had to extend it, Mahalwari system is same thing. So the entire village or the mahals anta tagontiದ್ರು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ entire village or mahals were considered as a single unit. So it was the responsibility of the entire mahal to pay the tax. So obba pay madilla andru, all the other members of the mahal were held responsible. This was a differentiating factor there. So another static question, who started what? ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಇದು ಕೊಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಸೋಷಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ, ರಾಜಗೋಪಾಲಾಚಾರ್ಯ ನೋ. ಸೋಷಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ 3 famous personalities, ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ದೇವ್, ಅಶೋಕ್ ಮೆಹ್ತಾ. 2-3 names ಸೋಷಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. See, whenever there is interchange of one of the options, there is good change that another option could also be interchanged. So socialist party na interchange ಮಾಡಿದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಅಶೋಕ್ ಮೆಹ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡಕ್ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಕೇಸ್ 4 ಮತ್ತೆ 2 ಎರಡು ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರತಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ which wanted free market economy was started by C. Rajagopalachari. So there is interchange of the option. So when options get interchanged, only 3 agalla, all 4 agalla. So ಇವೆರಡು ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ we could have done at least 50-50. But ಈ ತರ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆದಾಗ there is good chance that the rest 2 options happen to be correct. So 50-50 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ we could have gone for B option based on this logic, because BJS, which is a predecessor to BJP, it was started by Dr. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee, and Congress for Democracy political party was started by Jagjeevan Ram. At least try to remember this and this fact, because rest you would know. So ee question al kuda we know 2 things, and the rest of the 2 we had to do 50-50, and good chance that B would have been correct. So Shyam Prasad Mukherjee, founder and first president of Bharatiya Jana Sangh, which was a forerunner to BJP. BJP ಗಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ BJS ಇತ್ತು, and Shyam Prasad Mukherjee was the first president. Socialist party 3 names we have to by heart: Acharya Narendra, Jay Prakash Narayan, and Ashok Mehta. Swatantrata party, which advocated for free market economy, of C. Rajagopalachari. See, ಇದು ಅಂತೂ ಪಕ್ಕಾ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. This was difficult to be known, I agree for that. So this was all about it. So like I said, first 2 questions were directly static, third question you had to do 50-50, but at least you had good chance of gaining that 4 to 6 marks through a control or a static. I hope you like watching the video. Thank you for watching.